Callum finds his new favourite word.
I want us to try and get the word succulent.
Elliot, Anger's a South African man.
The Armstrong family knows too well.
I decide to cancel myself.
I'm a great supporter of Mad Lad Maz.
Hey there guys, I'm Will and welcome to Track Limits. Now we're on the weekend just after the first race of the season in Bahrain, and the three of us, me, Callum and Elliot, have been invited by our good friend and host of the TF1 Show, Tinas, to come on his podcast. Now we couldn't really pass this opportunity up, so we've got with a bit of a challenge. Each of us have picked 5 words for the other, or phrases, and we're going to try and say these and sprinkle them in throughout the course of the podcast. It should be interesting. If you're watching this, it means it's turned out pretty well. So we're going to jump straight into things. Callum, I've picked for you. Are you ready for your 5 words?
I don't think I'm mentally prepared, but we'll see how we go.
The thing is, though, we have to try and not buckle when we say these as well.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But no, Callum, I'll start off easy.
Okay.
Right? And I just want you to get out a subscribe to FP1.
Right,
fairly
okay.
simple,
Shameless
fairly
self-promotion.
I know. He's got more than probably like our amount, us, me, Callum and Tinas, squared combined, but still needs that promotion.
I'll take it. The next thing I want you to bring up is the British royal family. Now, they've been in the news recently for a few things. I can't quite remember what for, but I want you to try and bring them up in some way, shape or form.
Okay.
The third one, it's fairly simple, since Mazepin tried to emulate him today, but I want you to bring up Romain Grosjean
Okay.
at some point. For number 4, I thought, who does Tinas really love? And I thought, he's a big fan of Marcus Armstrong. Yes, exactly, Marcus Armstrong. So, I want you to slate Marcus Armstrong at some point in this podcast.
I mean, that's not going to be very difficult. Come on. Our boys had a terrible weekend apart from the final race, so, you know.
I mean, yeah, very true. And then finally, I thought a bit of a throwaway one in there. I want you to get out the word diarrhea at some point over the course of this podcast.
Okay, I don't know. I actually don't know how to spell that, so I'm just going to put runny poo. There we go.
All right.
Okay, Elliot, I have gone for a bit of a theme with all of my words, okay? And I want you to think of that theme as a Top Gear caravanning holiday, okay? So, the first word that I would like you to get into conversation with Tinas is the word Skoda. Okay? As in a Skoda Fabia. I want you to get the word Skoda into that.
Performance.
Exactly. I mean, it's pretty much as fast as Haas anyway, so, you know.
That's the route I'm planning to go down.
Nice strategy. Now, the second one, equally as fast as Haas, I would like you to get in the word caravan. Fairly self-explanatory. Okay? The third one is something that Mazepin's car needed after the first lap, and that was a tow bar. So I want you to get the word tow bar in there. The next one I want you to get in is campsite. Okay, so basically where Mazepin's going straight back after his retirement.
Yep.
And then finally,
where Ocon and Vettel set up.
Exactly. And finally, speaking of Ocon, I want you to get the word misery into there for me.
What, Esteban Misery Ocon?
Fantastic. And those are my 5 words. Top Gear themed and...
Okay. Right, so I've got the words for Will. And I went along a bit of a theme as well. I've got 4 food-themed words for Will.
Okay. Foods can't be too bad. So I think I've done all right here.
Yeah. So first one for our Lord and Saviour James May is cheese.
Brilliant. Okay.
Fairly self-explanatory. Number 2 for Mr. Eggman himself, Nikita Mazepin, got omelette.
All right.
You know, scramble them eggs into that nice fat omelette of a car crash he had, something like that. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Number 3, a bit harder. I've got Haribo. You know,
okay.
Lovely brand of sweets. Number 4. Don't know how you're going to do this one, but as soon as we said we were going to do this, I just thought this phrase, I don't know whoever's going to get this, they will struggle, and it's undercooked turkey.
Right.
So,
okay.
Get the phrase undercooked turkey in there somewhere. And finally, you've got, in honour of my lovely girlfriend Charlotte, you've got to get F-Series 1K into the podcast tonight.
Okay, all right. I was gonna start this episode with a Dig at F series, and I saw Charlotte in the background, and I thought, yeah, I might not. But okay, no, that's all right. I think I can deal with that.
Fucking undercooked turkey. What are we doing?
Honestly, I don't know.
It was about 10 minutes before we came on where I had all my words, but from about the start, I was like, I know I want undercooked turkey in there.
Before we launch into this, I think that we should have a bonus word. Okay? I think we should have a bonus word.
Right.
And if any of us get that word into our things, we get 2 extra bonus points. And can I
like
put forward
that.
a suggestion for it?
Go for it.
I want us to try and get the word succulent into...
Succulent. Okay.
Yeah, okay, doable. Succulent, we like it. Succulent. Okay, yeah, all right, lads, let's jump straight into this. I think we'll be getting on the call in a few minutes, so we'll see you in the podcast. And also, can I just say a massive thank you to Tinas from the TF1 Show just for being such a good sport and putting up with us here. Please do go and subscribe to his channel and give the whole podcast a watch. And all links to that can be found down in the description below. But anyway, let's jump straight into this, shall we?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TF1 Show and our first race recap of the 2021 season. And I'm very, very excited to be joined today by 3 partners in crime. I have Will from FP1, Callum from F1 Diary TV, and Elliot from Elliot F1 to help me unpack what was an amazing introduction to the season. I think
So, the episode started off fairly well, with Tina's unsuspecting of all the drama that was to follow, and the plan for me, anyway, was to take things easy to begin with. One of my colleagues, on the other hand, had other ideas.
Callum, let's start with you. How did you think that played out in the race today? Sort of the
to be quite honest, Tinas, it reminded me a little bit of the battle between sort of the royal family and Meghan and Harry at the moment. You know, it was ding dong, tit for tat the whole way. And you know what? It really made, it was genuinely really exciting to watch. It was a little bit dangerous here and there, I actually really thought, at some points it was going to go Red Bull's way. Then it swung back towards Mercedes. Okay, back and forth. And it was genuinely really entertaining to see.
Yes, just 3 minutes in, and I was already ticking off the royal box.
Anyway, while Callum was getting on the board quicker than the relationship between Harry and his mum fell apart, Elliot was also getting in on the action.
And I think if Perez was up there and didn't get messed about, even if they put him on the softs for that that Q2 appearance, then it would have allowed them to effectively attach a tow bar to the back of Max and give them the advantage, pull Perez through the race, give them a bit of a fight tactically.
The pressure was on me, though. I needed to get a word in there, otherwise I risked falling too far behind my fellow presenters. Problem was, I did this in the form of the deadest joke known to man.
Yeah. And what do we think about... Oh, sorry, Will.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, just to kind of segue from that, Bottas was rubbish. Like, Bottas was like a Christmas dinner, except you just rolled out some sort of undercooked turkey. It was awful. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, the pit stop didn't help him. We've got to give him that. But
no, definitely.
Will, his race was utter diarrhea today. Pure.
It was
diarrhea.
Along the lines of Esteban Ocon's misery. Not gonna lie.
It was really what got me about Bottas was after the race he was all angry. He was like, "Yes,
yeah, it could have been my race."
Mercedes wasn't aggressive enough with the strategy."
After the resultant free-for-all, people were beginning to take notice in the comments. So we turned it down for a little bit. Well, Will and Callum did. On the other hand, decided to take the piss out of Tinas' favourite driver, despite it not even being my point in the first place. He was really on the Marcus Armstrong struggle bus.
He really was.
You know what, Elliot? It's too early. It's too early in the podcast.
We come to Tinas' show and we're making fun of him and bullying
You come in my house. I invite you into my house.
And you come into the sacred space.
Valtteri Bottas race diarrhea all over my front porch. That's what you just did there.
The so commonly used word succulent had been absent so far, but that was about to change as I saw my opportunity.
So the interesting thing for me here was Max versus Lewis, right? I mean, that's the battle we all saw at the end of the race. Now, seeing these two go up against each other, what were our thoughts? What do we think?
Succulent. It was amazing.
It was good, and thank you to the regulations as well. Can we just say, I think we all expect to come in that these regulations weren't going to do much, just going to make everyone slower, but honestly, it was really evened out the field. All those, we've heard a lot about Rake and Ted Kravitz and his cheese allergy as well, but
And
the
floor
regulations
cutout,
really, the floor cutouts. But we wouldn't be having this if we didn't have the regulations. So thank you, thank you F1, and thank you COVID as well for giving us this. It was fantastic.
First time ever those 3 words were
Thank
uttered
you,
alongside
COVID.
each other. Thank you, COVID.
The battle so far then was between Elliot and Callum, while I was pulling a Valtteri Bottas and lagging behind the rest of the field. And while ticking off word number 2 helped a little, Elliot was about to move even further ahead.
Red Bull absolutely dominated Mercedes at the last race, and drive to survive. Woo! That's like saying, "Oh yes, I'm doing amazing. I've got a Skoda."
Then a Porsche just comes straight past.
I've just had the thought, why don't we have a Skoda Formula One team? Like, why is this not a thing?
Oh
It's
my
Haas.
goodness
It's
me.
Haas.
It is Haas,
It is.
to be fair. I mean,
Yeah.
Tinus, still unsuspecting, was now playing along with that little game, but I was about to risk it all with the inclusion of the bonus word.
I was waiting for them to cut to the Ferraris going down the outer loop again.
Yeah.
To get around and set
Those
times.
laps. Callum used the word
record.
earlier. But those Ferrari laps were succulent, absolute, just juicy. Just like that. That Charles lap at Sakir last year. It was one of those. I was like,
The fun thing about that is you can see those two are going to push each other.
and I wasn't done there. Ticking off another box just a few minutes later. Okay.
The dash knows what we know.
Sergio had set up his campsite along the final straight.
Elliot was on a storm, and as the conversation moved on to Sebastian Vettel, he managed to complete his list of words just halfway into the podcast.
Is our king, Seb Vettel, that for some reason have defied the laws of mathematics and geometry by seeing curved lines where they are in fact straight lines. By saying Ocon moved
That's like the
across when he
aerodynamics
was
of a caravan, isn't it? Curved
Yeah.
lines where there are straight lines.
I don't know what.
Probably the aerodynamics
Vettel-
of the Aston Martin as well, about the same as a caravan.
Yeah.
So I claimed victory then, but I wasn't satisfied just yet, as another opportunity arose to slag Marcus off, and there was no way I was going to pass that up.
Yes, okay, making the mistake once, it happens in the best of families, right? Every now and again you have an oopsie daisy.
The Armstrong family knows too well.
We go again.
I'm sorry, Tina.
No respect. But
You
let's
haven't
get
got an
back to my
obligation
point.
to rip into Armstrong here. I don't know why you're doing it. While Elliot was reaping the rewards of his victory, I was still struggling at the rear. But Tinus would lead me into ticking the next word off my list.
And he's made this mistake repeatedly, and it's a rookie mistake. The only one on the grid that has made worse mistakes so far than Vettel is Eggy. And we're going to talk about him now, right? Let's talk
Well,
about
Eggy turned into an omelette today. Let's be honest.
did.
Yeah. No,
He
it's
didn't even
a-
get as far. He didn't even get as far as Grosjean did in the first Bahrain Grand
Do you know what?
Prix.
Callum
He didn't
pointed
get
something
less
out.
far up the track.
He tried to emulate him, didn't he? He tried to.
Callum,
feel
Callum
bad for
pointed something out
14.
that Mazepin did more formation laps than he has race laps.
Will may have been catching up, but I was determined to hold on to second place. So as the conversation about Eggman continued, I slotted in the FP1 plug.
And the thing is, it wasn't
Can you
even the
imagine?
British Grand Prix, so we couldn't even say it was Bottas. So then we
Can
knew.
you imagine? Guys, can you imagine if we promoted our channels in that way? Because obviously, it said Mazepin's there promoting Russia with the Russian flag going straight to the barriers. Can you imagine if subscribe to
Sub to
FP1
FP1
was on the side and it went slamming into the
Just like go
barriers?
through, like, get F Series to 1K, yeah, and all that as well. My attempt to squeeze the F Series reference looked like a success. However, my celebrations would be short-lived.
I don't know what you mean,
PD
Tina. That never happened.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you've been called out.
Alrighty.
You've
I've been called out.
Well,
F Series have called me out. I don't hate F Series. I really don't. F Series are brilliant. Go on the. I'll say it again. Go get F Series to 1K. Honestly,
It's happened, Will. It's happened.
F Series have
It's
reached
happened.
1K.
Oh, well done. Congratulations.
And we're
Congratulations,
very, very
guys.
pleased for them. We're very, very pleased for F Series with their 1,000 subscribers.
With Will's bollocking session over, we got back to the task at hand. Tinas had instructed us to all write limericks, and though none of our phrases managed to make the cut, my colleague was still determined to get that bonus word in.
You know what, I'm gonna no, I'll all of those, and I'll use the word that Callum and Elliot have already said already, but they were succulent.
Succulents. I agree.
Like a beautiful plant on a summer day.
Yeah.
So
Well, if Tinas wasn't fed up with us already, he was about to, as we moved on to his awards section and decided to cancel ourselves.
So our first award is, of course, the Pastor Maldonado Award for most dunderheaded deed. Who do we think?
I think there's an obvious one, but I think there's a second one that could go in there. So obvious one, old Nick Nack Maz, as he likes to be known in Britain. And second, I think Pierre Gasly. That move on, Daniel.
Absolutely.
No one. I'm not putting Mick in there because rookie, first race of the season. It's
So is
understandable.
Mazepin.
Yeah, but Mazepin's a dickhead. I don't care.
Well, there you have it, ladies.
Can I put forward a left field nomination as well? Can I put forward a left field nomination?
Just before
Can I put Esteban Ocon forward? So clearly moving in front of Seb in the braking zone.
Red Bull strategy department.
Oh my gosh. I would just like to put a disclaimer to the Russian government.
I don't care.
Elliot-
Double truck me, bitches. Do it.
Yes.
Oh no!
Yes, Elliot is somewhere in the UK. Go and find him there. Don't come for me or for William. We're all, law-abiding citizens of the world.
I'm a great supporter of Mad Lad Maz. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. I think I'm going to give that one to Pierre Gasly, actually.
With a few minutes to go, all I needed to finish my set was to slag off Marcus Armstrong. And then the opportunity arrived.
All right, and last award, the Nico Hulkenberg Podium Award for
It's not going to be
unluckiest
Marcus
driver.
Armstrong, is it?
It is. It is appropriate if it's Marcus Armstrong for unluckiest
It is.
driver.
Yeah, I mean, leading the F2 race at one point.
Man has been so unlucky so far. So Marcus, if you're watching, and I'm sure you are, just know that we all agree that you have been unlucky, and that I,
Armstrong,
under no circumstances, endorsed any
my-
of the words that have come out of Elliot's mouth.
My tweet earlier about the F2 was brilliant. It was like Marcus up eight positions on the softs. Can't wait for him to fall back when he puts the hards on.
Aged like fine wine.
Guys, can't believe you keep doing my man so dirty like that. Let's get back on track.
So I had well and truly lost our little competition. But with a few words still left to dish out, I got desperate when the conversation moved on to the stewards at the end. Apparently, the stewards have made a lot of errors, I think, over the course of the entire weekend, F1 and F2.
F2 was
Lundgaard.
terrible for stewarding.
Honestly, I felt like I was watching the kids in the Haribo adverts doing it rather than the actual stewards themselves. Like, it was shocking. But I mean, so after all that, we had managed it. All three of us had managed to get every single one of the words we've been challenged to. I mean, hey, even succulent. I hope you guys have enjoyed this slightly different video on the channel, and if you did, then do let us know down in the comments below. And also, make sure you do subscribe to Tinas as well as my co-hosts Elliot and Callum. All links for them you can find down in the description below. Anyway, that's all from me. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you all in the next one.